Hello everyone, I am Prabhat Dubey, your BST teacher from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar. We were discussing the five principles of management. We know the relevance, we know the importance of these principles and how these principles are helping the business managers and administrators to manage the company affairs, daily business operations and all types of challenges that comes in the way of all the people who are involved in managing the activities of any company or organization. So we have completed the fifth yesterday. Today we will focus on the sixth principle, that is subordination of individual interest to general interest. As you know that in any company or organization there is a objective, mission, vision of the company, and there are different types of divisions. So divisional objectives are also there. But any divisional, any individual or any departmental objective is to be subordinated by the objective of the company. If the objective of the organization and the company is achieved, then the individual objectives, individual interest, departmental objectives can be compromised. But the organizational goal should not be compromised at any cost. If the company has set an objective that it will create a market capital, it will attract the customers, it will set a brand loyalty in the market, in within 5 years the objective is to cover the entire state and achieve at least a recognized position in the market, then that objective should be fulfilled. If the manufacturing company is aiming to produce 5,000 products in 1 week, this is the objective. So all the divisions, all the departments, all the people who are working should always take this objective in their mind. Whatever their individual objectives are, whatever their departmental objectives are, they are also important. But they should always take proper care. They should set the priority, and the organizational goal is to be given the highest priority. All the efforts, all the investment that is being made in the company, all the money that is being spent should always make the path that is leading to achievement of that organizational goal should be cleared. Okay, so we will study about how to take priority on the different types of objectives, different types of goals that are in any objectives organization or business unit. As per your book, it is written over there. According to this principle, the interest of organization must supersede the interest of individual or employees. The objective of employee or individual objectives are also important for the organization, but the organizational goals should never be compromised. In the organization, all the employees are working with some objective, and there is always an objective of the organization. These are the things that we discussed. We move forward. Manager must take all the decisions in the organization by giving priority to organizational interest and not his personal interest. If any manager is trying to just fulfill his own ambition, or he is emphasizing on achievement of the departmental or divisional objectives, there are different people, different from different mindsets, different background, different religion, different race, different ethnic groups. So some people always take proper action to achieve the organizational goal. They are ready to compromise their individual interest. But some people are always involved in such type of activities that will fetch them personal laurels, personal gain. People are just chasing their own interest. Such type of people are very injurious for the achievement of organizational goal. If any person cares for his own objective and he is just compromising on the organizational goal, then that person is of no use. You can give example of any cricket match or any football match. If the player who is playing for any nation or any club or any state, if he is giving importance to his personal performance, he want to score a century irrespective of the team win or lose, then that type of player is not important for the team. That player will always play for his own motive. Even if you are not scoring a century, but your performance is contributing in the win of the team, then your performance is crucial. Such type of performance is needed. So same thing is applicable to the organization or manufacturing unit. If your performance, your efforts are adding value to the company, making the goals achieved, are helping your colleagues, you are giving proper direction to your subordinates for achievement of the organizational goal, you are just behaving in a proper manner, you are not letting the juniors generate grievance in themselves, you are taking proper care of your subordinates and giving proper respect to your seniors, then only you are an asset for the company. Otherwise, the people who are compromising on the organizational goal, who are just creating unacceptable behavior, unacceptable condition in the company, who are violating the rules, laws and policies that are devised by the chairman, founder, or you are not following the democratic principles, constitutional laws, then you are a liability for the company. Company don't need such type of employees who are just misleading the workers and not doing the work with dedication. Okay, so I think it is clear to you all. An example is given in your book that before buying raw material, the manager must compare the prices and qualities of all the suppliers and give order to the best rather than giving order to his own relative. It happens earlier before liberalization and globalization. Such kind of practice was very prevalent. The person who was given responsibility to purchase any raw material or any equipment, any machinery, always involved. I'm not saying that all people were involved, but most people were fined in such type of involvements where they were maintaining a unacceptable relationship with the suppliers, and they were giving money under the table and they finalized such type of raw materials that were of inferior quality, or they just shortlisted a vendor who is given the raw material at higher prices, and for making that deal happen, the person is giving commission to the purchase manager or any person who is given the authority to buy the raw materials. So such kind of thing should be eradicated out, because as we know that you have to maintain effectiveness and efficiency, so you have to just make sure that you have a list of all the suppliers who are supplying the required raw material, and then you have to make proper inquiry of the products that are being supplied and the cost that is applicable to those material, and then you will shortlist the best quality product with cheapest price. This kind of practice will always ensure better profitability of the business. If you are not doing this, then you are compromising on the profitability of the company. Such kind of things also happen at your home. If you have to buy any electrical equipment, anything that is being utilized in your home, you have to buy a cell phone, mobile set, refrigerator, TV, or anything, you go and compare what type of products are available in this, what is the cost, what type of value addition is there, then you finalize the best available product according to your own requirement. Okay, so you can accept this principle, you can apply this principle in your own life as well. Okay, always try to relate any specific principle that is given by Fayol in your own life as well, because you have to manage your own life. Only management of a company is not of our concern. A person who is having a knowledge of management and administration, he can apply these concepts and ideas for their own betterment, for their own upliftment. Okay, now the next is remuneration for the persons, the person who are working for the organization, who are working with dedication for achievement of the organizational goal and objectives. Their individual interests are also to be taken proper care. If the company is not taking proper care of the workers or the people who are involved in the production and manufacturing, supply chain, any of the activity that is needed for manufacturing and supply of that product, if you're not giving them proper remuneration, if you're not working for their promotion, upliftment, you're not giving them proper bonus, if the company is earning good profit, then there would be a grievance in the employees. And if grievance is there, if the employer is not working in a proper manner, you're not talking with your juniors or your team in a proper manner, then there will be a grievance. If your workforce is not happy, your productivity will suffer. Even if you are having a good profit in a single financial year, you have to plan for the next year. You have to keep your employees happy and in good condition. Their all the needs, basic needs, and all of their requirements should be fulfilled. You have to give them adequate salary, that is enough to maintain all the legalized, legitimate requirements of the employees. Okay, so before deciding the salary, you have to take proper care of their own sentiments, their own requirements. If you are just exploiting the workers, you are giving them less salary, that is unacceptable according to the law and according to the constitutional framework. Then the labor will not be happy. If the labor is not happy, he is having some grievance in his mind, then the productivity will always suffer. He will not work with dedication, and in the long run, the company will suffer a loss. Okay, so you can understand how important it is to take proper care of the employees. Okay, whatever their position, whatever their authority and responsibility is, you have to keep them with proper care. If the worker is working with dedication, he is not violating any rules and laws, he is achieving all the target that is being given to him by the seniors, then he must be awarded for all the efforts that he is putting in, that is beneficial for the company, which is making the company achieve the set target. The last one is centralization and decentralization. Both these concepts are applicable to industry and business units, but it depends on the mindset of the person who is establishing any financial or business unit, and the workforce that is working in that business unit. If the workforce is very less, then only single or 2 or 3 people can manage all the company affairs. That happens in the case of MSMEs, small units where investment is very low. If you are investing 10 to 20 lakh rupees for starting a new venture, then you don't need a team of managers to manage the company affairs. You don't need to give powers to the juniors. You single-handedly can take proper decision and you can manage the company affairs. But if your team is very large, your production and your operation is involving a great area, the workers who are working in your organization are numerous. Suppose 5,000 workers are there, a team of 5,000 people are working in any organization, or more than that. Then you cannot control all the team, all the departments, all the activities single-handedly. If the chairman is sitting in Mumbai or Delhi and you are having several manufacturing units, one manufacturing unit in Delhi, one in Bangalore, one in Hyderabad, one in West Bengal, then it would not be easy for a single person who is sitting in Mumbai, who can manage all the activities, all the affairs, all the challenges, all the grievances. He cannot handle all that. So he need to provide of decision-making power to the juniors, to the subordinates. This is called decentralization. If you are giving your juniors decision-making power, authority to take decisions for managing the company affairs, then you are decentralizing your organization or institution. And if you are keeping all the powers in your own hand, all the decision making is vested in a single person, then that unit is centralized. Both type of decision making is necessary, but you have to choose what is relevant for your own business unit or organization. Both of them have some positives and some negatives. If you are centralizing, the whole control is under single hand, so there are less chances that wrong decision will be taken by some juniors, but if you are not decentralizing a large unit, then the responsibility will be very high and you will not be able to manage the company affairs. But if you are decentralizing, the handling of all the grievance, all the challenges will be easy for you. Okay, but if you are involving different people to take decisions, you have to know who are capable enough to take proper decision, who are loyal to the company, who will take the objective of the company in his mind before taking any decision, because you know that human behavior and human psychology is the very unpredictable thing in this universe. You don't know what would be the decision of a person who is working under you and what moment his loyalty will change. A person who is fully dedicated to any organization or institution, you don't know which offer or which person can deviate him from the right path. So if the person's loyalty is under question, you cannot give him proper authority and responsibility to take proper decision at any point of time. Such type of activity will always make the company suffer. So before choosing your team, you have to decide that is this person capable enough to be given proper authority and responsibility to take proper action. So decentralization is also very useful for the company if the right person is chosen for take decisions on behalf of the chairman or the founder or the owner of the company. So we studied these three principles today, and we will keep discussing the rest in our coming lecture. So make a list of all these principles. These are very important for perspective of your examination. You will get good number of questions from this chapter, and this Hayal's principles is one of the most important questions that are generally asked in your board examinations. So make at least a list of, you should be doing all these 14 principles. The elaboration is not very difficult. These are general practices. Without knowing Hayal's principles, you are employing some of these things in your own life on daily basis. Okay, Hayal given them a proper significant recognition in the mind of business managers. Okay, so we will meet again in the next lecture and we will discuss the rest of the principles. Okay, so be safe. We will meet again. Bye.